Giants, Raiders, next Sunday, the game for the number one pick. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I needed to jump up on here and get you guys a video with the updated NFL draft order with all of the games complete outside of Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football for NFL Week 16. This is why you subscribe to the channel, though, because no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we're going to get you guys a video when there are things to talk about with this football team. Let's start with this. At this time, at 2-13, the New York Giants own the number one pick. If the draft were to be in 5 minutes, the Giants would have the number one overall selection. If the Giants lose next week to the Raiders and the Giants lose the following week in Week 18 to the Dallas Cowboys, they are going to have the number one pick in the NFL draft. It's extremely important to get that number one pick. That way the New York Giants can trade down, get a haul of draft picks for a team that's trying to trade up and pick a quarterback. So when the new GM gets the job for the New York Giants, they are able to go and attack the NFL draft with multiple assets to rebuild this team. The New York Giants right now, they have just 2 picks inside the top 100 selections in the 2026 NFL draft. The Las Vegas Raiders next week. It won't be an easy game for the New York Giants to lose, but I do think there is a chance that they lose that ball game. That game opens up with the New York Giants as 3-point favorites, but I watched every single play of that Raiders versus Texans game this afternoon following the Giants' loss, and the Raiders had every chance in the world to win that game, and that's what you say about bad teams. Bad teams find ways to lose, and the Raiders, they found a way to lose that football game. But I'll be honest, not biased at all, not rooting for the Raiders to win. There were 2 phantom pass interference calls on the Raiders defense that ultimately gave the Houston Texans the win down the end of the stretch. And what does that mean? I think there's a real chance the Giants lose that game to the Raiders. And if the Giants do lose that game, they have an almost 80% chance to get the number one overall pick. The current odds right now, the Raiders are favorites to get the number one overall pick. They have a 37.1% chance to do so. The Giants, they have a 35.4% chance to do so. So, Giants, they've got a shot. And I'll say this, even if the Las Vegas Raiders do lose to the New York Giants, they have to play the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 18. And we just saw the Kansas City Chiefs get whooped up on by the Tennessee Titans. They don't have Patrick Mahomes. And Gardner Minshew just suffered a torn ACL. They are down to their third quarterback. And it would be the most Las Vegas Raiders thing of all time to lose the game to the Giants, think you've clinched the number one pick, and go and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It would be a great way for Pete Carroll and Geno Smith to give the double birds to Raider Nation to win that game. And I think there's a legit chance that they do. The Chiefs are not interested in winning regular season games if it doesn't punch them tickets to the playoffs. I'm not saying they're tanking, but 1, they're not that good of a team right now, and 2, they are on their third quarterback. The Giants also got some more good news today when you just talk about the overall NFL draft, and it was the Titans beating that Kansas City Chiefs team. That puts the Titans to 3 wins. That's important. The Browns, Jets, Titans, Cardinals all have 3 wins on the year. So if the Giants were to theoretically go and beat the Las Vegas Raiders a week from today, they would still have the 3rd overall pick. The Cleveland Browns, who have 3 wins, they have a strength of schedule of .492. Strength of schedule is the tiebreaker. The lower that number is, you own the tiebreaker. The Giants have a strength of schedule of .528. So if the Giants and the Browns were to finish with the same overall record, the Cleveland Browns would have the advantage. So let's say the Giants beat the Raiders. Raiders go to pick number 1, and let's say the Browns lose out, they go to pick number 2, and the Giants slot in at the number 3 pick because the Jets have a strength of schedule of .538 who have 3 wins. The Titans have a strength of schedule of .574, and the Arizona Cardinals have a strength of schedule of .575. And this is a strength of schedule of all the teams you have played and will play. So it is a very accurate representation of what that is going to be like. That is why the win for the Titans today against the Chiefs was massive. And that is why next week, the Giants losing to the Las Vegas Raiders will be the most important thing that they do all season long. Yes, I will be rooting for the Las Vegas Raiders to lose. I will be rooting for the Las Vegas Raiders to beat the New York Giants. Yes, that is correct. I will be rooting for the Giants to lose. I will be rooting for the Raiders to win. Call me a fake fan. I believe I would be rooting for what is best for the organization. Because if the Giants get the number 1 overall pick, there are going to be teams willing to trade the farm of their assets to move up to number 1 pick to select Fernando Mendoza. That is why I am also rooting for Oregon and Dante Moore to do great in the playoffs, and I'm rooting for Indiana to do great in the playoffs. Go back to 2023 when the Bears had the number 1 pick, and they traded down with the Carolina Panthers. The Bears went from pick 1 to pick 9. And then they picked up a second-round pick, a future first-round pick, a future second-round pick, and wide receiver DJ Moore. If the New York Giants could trade down in round 1 and pick up a future second, a future first, a future second, and a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver, that puts a fast forward on the New York Giants rebuild. It is critical that the New York Giants lose that game. And I'll say this, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, even if the New York Giants do win that game and they get to 3 wins, there is still a chance they can get the number 1 overall pick. You would just need the Raiders to beat the Chiefs, which I don't think is the craziest thing in the world, considering both of their starting quarterbacks, their first-string quarterback and their second-string quarterback is hurt. I think there's a legit chance. I really, really do. They need it, man. This team needs it. They need it so bad. They deserve it. You have the most losses in the last 2 years. You're 5-27 in the last 2 years. You have the most losses in the last 3 years. And you have the most losses since 2017. It's torture watching this team. The product that I saw on the football field today from the Giants is as bad as it gets. It looked like Jake Fromm back under center. It was a joke, and it was an embarrassment to every single legend that has put on the New York Giants jersey. It was disrespectful. Man, unreal. Unreal. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you want the Giants to get the number 1 pick, hit that thumbs up icon, and we'll see you later.